Hi guys, and welcome to our Sunday slot. This week we're going to be thinking a little bit about family, and thinking about all the beautiful, gorgeous, wonderful shapes and sizes that our families come in. So just to start us off, I want you to think really quickly about the people who are in your family. So the people who make up your family, that might be your parents, your guardians, it might be a mum, a stepmom, a stepdad, a half brother, sister, siblings, all of that, or it might be you and some parents. So thinking about that, and thinking about families and how they're different and come in different shapes and sizes, um, we're going to be thinking about a few people in the Bible who have families who might just be a little bit different. And families are a really great way of how we experience God's love and how we know that we are loved. Um, so there was a young guy in the Bible called Samuel. Now, Samuel was looked after by someone who wasn't his mum. So he was brought up by a man and someone who wasn't in his family. Joseph, who you might have heard of. Joseph was the guy who had the colours on his coat, and Joseph had 11 brothers, but some of them had different mums. So some of Joseph's brothers were half brothers, which some of you might have as well. So Jacob was the dad of all of them, so all of the brothers, and then some of them had different mums, so it might have been one or two different mums. Now, the last guy I wanted to talk to you about is Moses. And you might have heard a little bit about Moses before. Maybe you've heard about the story where he is in Egypt, or maybe when he's put in the bulrushes. So we're going to be thinking a little bit about him today. So Moses was brought up by a different family, so not the one that he was born into. So maybe we call it an adoptive family now. And he was brought up by them after his mother put him in a basket. So his mum put him in a basket to try and keep him safe from some of the bad things that were happening in the city. So we're going to be thinking a little bit about that and about the families, and how they come in lots of different shapes and sizes. So we're going to hear the story from the Rhyming Bible, and this is called The Baby in the Basket. Hush-a-bye, baby, in your reed boat, down by the bank you bob and you float. Sleep and be safe, and know as you do, your God and your sister watch over you. Pharaoh had made God's people his slaves. Still they grew strong, and still they grew brave. Fearful they'd rise, rebel and destroy, he ordered the death of each baby boy. One Hebrew mum came up with a plan to guard and to save her own little man. She built him a tiny bulrush boat, caked it in tar to make the thing float. Hush-a-bye, baby, in your reed boat, down by the bank you bob and you float. Sleep and be safe, and know as you do, your God and your sister watch over you. Into the boat her baby boy went. Following that, her sister was sent to watch and to care for all of his needs, hidden among the Nile River reeds. Then Pharaoh's daughter went for a bath, hearing something crying well off the path. Looked in the river, that's where she spied the little reed boat with baby inside. Hush-a-bye, baby, in your reed boat, down by the bank you bob and you float. Sleep and be safe, and know as you do, your God and your sister watch over you. Bring him to me, she ordered her maid. Into her arms the baby was laid. A Hebrew, she said, then kindly smiled. I'll raise him as my own dear little child. A nursemaid, she said, is what this child needs. And that's when his sister rose from the reeds. I know a woman, the girl volunteered. She'll do a great job. She's living near. The mother was paid to feed her own son, then gave him right back from nursing when nursing was done. His name will be Moses, announced Pharaoh's daughter, the baby I pulled up out of the water. Hush-a-bye, baby, in your reed boat, down by the bank you bob and you float. Sleep and be safe, and know as you do, your God and your sister watch over you. So in that story that we hear about Moses, we see a slightly different type of family. So we know that Moses' original mother put him in a basket and put him in the Nile, so in the river, to try and keep him safe from Pharaoh, because Pharaoh was killing a lot of the baby boys because he was scared that they would grow strong. And then it was the Pharaoh's daughter who found Moses in the water, and who picked him up and said, I will raise this child as my own. So Moses was brought up into a different kind of family. And I think we're just thinking a little bit about families and about all the beautiful, wonderful shapes that families come in, and how we should be thankful for them, however they come. And there will be lots of us who have different families, who have one type of family or maybe not another, and that's absolutely fine. Family is a really important place where we can come and experience the love of God. So thinking about that, we've got a little activity for you which evolves around making and weaving, we hope, some baskets. So we're going to show you a little bit how we can get started and how we can do them, and talk you through that is hopefully what's going to happen. So what you'll need is, over to this side, we have our objects that we need. So we're going to maybe need some coloured paper, or plain paper, that's absolutely fine. We're going to need something to stick some of the things together. So you can have sellotape, you can have glue stick, you can have a stapler. So that's absolutely fine. Those are our scissors that we're going to need to cut bits and bobs up. It would be quite useful to have a ruler, which is over here, if we need a ruler, or something that we can draw with a straight edge, and probably a pen or a pencil, I would think. So those are the things that we're going to need. But like I said, don't worry if you don't have coloured paper. That's absolutely fine. Just use plain paper if you've got any, or you can even colour in strips. So you might need someone to help you do this, as I've got someone to help me do this as well. So step 1, piece of paper. That's what we need, isn't it?
Yeah. So, okay, guys. So what you're going to do, you're going to basically fold it lengthways. Make sure it's nice and neat. Let's have these equal length and right to the very edge. So then fold it in half. So piece of paper, if you've got the 30cm ruler, you want to then do a little dot 4 centimeters in from the left hand side, then 4 centimeters in from the right hand side. With that, follow that line 5.5 centimeters up. So from there, so that is at 20. Yeah, so that's 5.5 centimeters. Then this side will be 5.5 centimeters. So again, doing it in the same line as the dot. Then what you're going to do, you're going to then get your ruler, connect both parts of this together.
So draw a straight line
all the way across.
Good.
So once that has then been done, your sheet of paper should look as so. If we now unfold this as so, yeah?
So you've only got it on one side, so that's fine. Don't worry about that.
Then we move on to the next part. So again, this is just one part that I've done earlier. So the same thing. What you're then wanting to do is cut down the first line as so. So I've already done this one. Yeah. Then you're wanting to cut another line all the way up just to the top of this line.
So you don't want to go over this, do we?
No.
No, we don't.
So then after that, repeat the same process all the way along. So for instance, I'm going to just cut, sorry. All the way up to the top.
So okay. Should these be the same size?
They can be the same size. They can be roughly the same size, but then you want to end at this line. So for instance, once I've then done all the way up to here, I would then chop a line here, yeah? So
beautiful.
With that, I've got one that has been finished with earlier.
Ooh, this looks good. So you've cut all these bits like we
Yeah.
just showed you.
So as shown, these two are loose, correct?
Oh yeah, we see.
Okay, so then what you then want to do is open it up,
Ooh.
and it will be as so. So this is now for your weaving. So myself and Megan have actually done some little strips of paper.
Ooh, paper strips.
So for these, you literally just cut down a A4 piece of paper into little strips as so. Yeah?
And we need to cut down the long side when we do these, don't we?
Yeah, that's correct.
So not this short way. We're not going to snip this
Not
way.
going to do it that way.
No, look, it's too
they're
long.
not long.
So we're going to do it the other way.
The other way, yeah?
The longest part of the paper, you're going to cut down that one.
Okay, so then with the weaving process, you're going to do it as so. So let's say, for instance, the first one, we're going to weave it through. Then we're going to kind of do an over and under routine. So look.
Like that game. You know the game that you probably play in PE where you put the ball over a head through the legs.
That's
over
it.
the
That's
head.
very good.
Just like
so
that.
As you can see, it's gradually going through.
So over, under, over, under.
So it's probably good to have
Under.
like a flat surface underneath, something that you can slide along the piece of paper with.
You might want one of your beautiful, gorgeous family members to help you with this if you're struggling a little bit.
Yeah, just ask for help, guys. As you can see, I'm struggling a little bit.
Doing a good job.
So yeah, just push that bit through right to the very end, and then it will gradually come out the other side. So,
Lovely.
as so. So once that one has been done, you then want to make sure that that's stuck down. So for instance, I'm going to use my sellotape today. So just a little bit. You're then going to put that down there.
Oh, is that just to hold it in place?
Just to hold it in place, guys.
That's a very good idea. So you can, so we could glue that if we didn't have sellotape.
Yeah, for sure. So then I'll show you another one now. So you can then use a different colour if you have different colours.
Ooh.
Or you can even colour them in after. So this time it's going to go the opposite way. So for instance, see how this one here goes under first? It's going to go over this time. So go through the back, and you see how it's different here?
Oh yes, we do.
So then with that, this one is then going to go under. So again, under there, over. Going to go under.
And over.
Over. Hopefully you're getting the idea, guys.
Yeah, I think we understand.
So as so that one's going over.
This one's going under.
So just remember, over, under, over, under.
So it should kind of be opposite, shouldn't it, to the one I see.
So let's say, for instance, I've done this one. See how it's all over and under? So like the green one is not shown here, but shown here. Not shown here, shown here. The red, for instance, is the opposite. So shown, not shown, shown, not shown.
Beautiful.
Okay. So
I've got the idea of that, I think, haven't we, guys?
Yeah. So the end product you would have is as shown.
And we need to sellotape each end, do we?
Yeah. So for instance, or you can use some glue. So I'm going to use some glue, for instance, for the last two.
Lovely.
So I'm going to give a little bit of glue on the top here. So literally just push that down. A little bit of glue on the other end. Glue that down.
Lovely.
Okay, so after that has been done, how to then make it into a basket? Simple.
Simple, guys, don't worry.
What you're going to need to do is grab your pair of scissors. Make sure that you've got a family member or an adult with you for these parts, as scissors can be sharp. Then all I want you to do is just cut a line in, probably just the whole length of the scissor, so just into the centre. Do that on all four corners of the paper, yeah?
But we want to be careful, don't we, not to...
Yeah, not to cut over the weaving as such.
So we don't want to cut right into the weave.
No, so just stopping just before the weaving. So for instance there. And then for instance here, yeah? Okay,
Beautiful.
so the next step, going to use the glue again. What we're going to do now, we're going to put a little bit of glue just on one corner of each of where it's cut. So for instance, this top left corner, Just going to put some glue on there. Then you're going to then fold it over as so. Doesn't matter if it's not neat, and then just glue it. So it's kind of as so.
Beautiful. So it's like a little corner, isn't it? It's one of the corner of our basket.
Correct. So then the next size. As so.
This looks so good.
Again.
I want to put something in my basket now.
Fold. As so.
Wonderful. So what should it look like when we've done all of four of our corners?
So once it has then been finished, this would be your finished product. I know it's a different colour, guys. And look, for instance, I've done a little bit more different colours. For the top or the handle, simply just use another ribbon or strip of paper and then glue it or sellotape it to the side so that it's your handle.
Lovely.
And then it is finished.
That is a beautiful basket. And guys, if you want to, you can then put, well, whatever you want in your basket. And you can even put, oh, I don't know, like your family members' names in there or whatever you'd like to, anything to remind you of kind of that love of God that we see in families and how families come in all different shapes and sizes. If this one is a little bit difficult, I think we've got another one that is slightly easier, or you can make two that should eventually look like this. And this one's super, super simple.
That's correct.
I hope, isn't it?
Yeah. So for the same way, you just need a piece of square paper. So the same distance, this side and this side, yeah?
So we need to cut an A4 paper, do we?
Correct.
'Cause that's not a square, is it?
Correct.
Okay.
So what you can then do is, for instance, just use the same technique as before. Cut down into the centre. Now it hasn't got to be precise, guys. Just cut down into the centre using a pair of scissors. Roughly the same distance.
So just the same length of the scissors again, do you think?
Yeah, just a little bit more if need be. Then down here. So, as so, we're going to then connect it up just as shown. So it might look a little bit bigger, this one, compared to the one that we just shown.
Oh, so we're doing the same gluing as before.
Correct.
So the same thing, guys, from the previous basket. You just glue the sides together.
So then naturally, that will then give you a little basket shape.
Oh, don't we love that? That's quite a lot easier than the other one.
Yeah, the weaving for the other one is a bit technical, guys. So. But
you've got time. We've all got time. So take your time in making your basket look beautiful. This looks very good.
Just doing all four corners. So that's round there, and then the last side.
Look at that. Basket number 2.
Again, guys, that is it.
Bish, bash, bosh. And then again, for the handle, we just put another bit of paper, do we?
You can just use another bit of paper, and then glue that to the sides.
Gorgeous. Look at our baskets. So we hope you have fun making your baskets, guys, and stay safe and healthy, and we wish you a very happy Sunday. Bye.
See you later.